I've been doing YouTube videos for a few weeks now, and I kind of enjoy it. So I started thinking about storage, and I just received this today. So this video is going to be about unboxing this and explaining how this could be useful to me. So first, let's have a look at the way I'm doing videos right now. I film from my iPhone, and then it gets uploaded to the cloud. And it takes a while. It takes about a day. And then eventually it gets downloaded from the cloud to Photos on my Mac. But this process takes a while, and that's what I've been doing because I was not really thinking too much about it. But I want to change this a bit. There are two issues. First, there's some storage issues. Right now, I still have plenty of space on my Mac, but I enjoy doing videos. I think that very soon I'm going to run out of space. If I continue like this, within 6 months, I run out of space. Everything goes into my Photos library. I just have one library. So this is where this new storage unit comes in. And the way I want to do it in the future is that I'm going to connect my iPhone to my Mac directly with a USB cable. So the movies would be downloaded right away. So that way I don't have to go through that lengthy process of going through iCloud, which again takes about a day. Then I'm going to manually take the movies that I shoot, and I'm going to put them into a folder on that external hard drive. And then the iMovie will be also placed on that same hard drive, the iMovie library. So instead of taking space on the hard drive of my computer, it's going to be on the external one. iMovie does copy the source. So it's something which is kind of inefficient, but that's just what it is. So on the same external hard drive, there will be the raw movies, and then iMovies will copy them locally into its own library. And then through the editing process, I get a finished movie that I upload on YouTube. And the other part of it is that I'm going to delete those movies right away from the Photos library. And so by doing this, it's going to prevent them from being uploaded to the cloud. That way I don't take any space on my iCloud storage either. So this is going to be the future process that I'm going to use to make videos, and we'll see at the end of the year. This is January 2022. Yeah. So we'll see at the end of the year how this process is working for me. I also want to mention that I got this camera here. I don't know how good it is. It's dusty, but I think it's going to be a good camera. And the process with this camera is going to be using an SD card. So I'm going to use that camera, and then I'm going to be able to directly upload it to my Mac with the SD card, and then I would clean up this SD card when I need space on it. So I think I have a good system here. Now let's have a look at the hard disk itself. I wanted to buy this brand because it used to be a French brand. I didn't realize it had been bought out, but I think it was French in the past, and I already had an old hard drive that I bought in 2005. 60 gigabytes. Look at that thing. It was not very fast, but it was really nice. That was a beautiful design, and that was such an amazing product back then with the integrated cable too. I bought this one from Amazon Warehouse, which is great because it's a product which might have been opened. Maybe the package was a bit damaged, or whatever reason. It's very inexpensive. And I bought 1 terabyte because I thought, well, by the time I fill this up, it's going to take me a while to fill it up. And by the time I fill it up, I will get another one, which might be a bit faster. Or also, I would like to prevent data loss by having multiple hard drives rather than one. So I'll fill this one up, and then I'll move on. But it's going to take me a long time to fill this up. So also, I noticed that it's actually Seagate that owns this brand now. And surprisingly, I worked on that road nearby. So it's good memories. Let's have a look at the inside of it. But first, let's have a look at this interesting sticker here. And I lifted up to see what was underneath that sticker, and what you can see is that they removed one cable. So they used to advertise two cable, one of the USB 3.0, that's a regular Type A large USB plug like this one. And then they put a sticker advertising only one cable. So I guess they wanted to save money by shipping only one cable instead of two. But knowing how logistical chains work in China, the cost of removing a cable and adding this little sticker to each box, that cost is more than the price of that particular cable. That's kind of a stupid decision, I think, from that company. Manufacturing lines in China are really designed for production in one direction, for shipping stuff. And when you do something like this, you need to loop back and bring products back into the supply chain upstream, and then you have to produce those little stickers, cut them, and have someone manually put them on each box. That's just a waste of money. It's not a very sensible decision. Okay, let's open this up with one hand. And so the surprise here is that actually the second cable is here too. So that doesn't make any sense now. It seems that they wanted to remove that cable, then realized, oh, that's a dumb move, and then we put it back in. Surprising decisions here. And you can see the packaging is off because this cable comes with its own little package, not a little scratchy thing here. So there's something really interesting about the production line here that makes me very curious. And it looks like this is factory sealed. I don't think that anyone has used this hard drive. So essentially I got it a brand new hard drive for half the price. And it's a nice thing to do because a lot of those products, they end up being wasted and thrown away. So it's kind of nice to reduce the pressure on the planet in terms of waste, but also get a better price for me. The 1 and 2 terabyte discs are the same dimension, just inside they contain more. The 4 gigabyte and the 5 gigabyte are twice as thick. So definitely I wanted to have the smaller size, and I was hesitant between 1 and 2 terabyte, And I chose this one because I thought this is plenty enough for my needs today. And the longevity of a hard drive depends on how many insertions and mounting and spinning there is, because this is still using a mechanical hard drive. And so comparatively, a smaller hard drive will last longer because it's used less, because it contains less. Interestingly enough, it's pretty big compared to the old one. So it makes me feel really good about the old one, which also had this integrated cable, which is so much better than having a separate cable and having to fish for it. So in terms of design, this is better. In terms of speed, this is going to be 10 times faster, of course. And now in terms of weight, the old one weighs 100 grams, and the new one weighs, quite a bit more, huh? I've spent so much time in China, and I'm very curious about production systems. And you can see here that this cable came from 2 different suppliers. The cable itself is different, and the plug is different, materials are different. So it's definitely 2 different suppliers. So it adds a bit to the mystery. I'm really curious about that sticker and that decision to remove the cable and then put it back in. And of course, removing the sticker would have added costs, so that makes sense. I understand why they wouldn't remove the sticker, even though that sticker was wrong. And maybe that's the reason why this product ended up being half price. Maybe it's because of that back and forth mistakes of packaging and labeling. Maybe they just binned those half price for that reason. The old disk was formatted in 2005 with a FAT32, so I did some speed tests by taking the files from one of the partitions. There were about 6,000 files and 18 gig, and so I read from it first, and then I wrote to it. After that, I reformatted that old disk, and then I erased all the partitions and created a single partition. You can see that reformatting it to a newer standard doubled the speed of the old disk. But of course, doesn't compare at all with the new disk, which is super fast.